Hi everyone. So I'm going to do this a little bit different than I usually do it. I'm not necessarily going to do word for word reading off my um, speech. I'm just going to do it as a talk. I use the notes as a guideline to direct the conversation. So the company I chose to do is Invisible Fence. It's an electric fencing company that is primarily concerned with keeping animals, specifically dogs, safe while they're outdoors and their owners at peace of mind. So who doesn't love working with animals, especially me being a dog person? It's my passion and what I want to do later in life, ultimately work in the canine unit, so I think this is a good start. But let's start with like the central thesis, quoted by Invisible Fence, of course. Because when it comes to improving the lives of pets and their people, it's never a job. It's a labor of love. So it's a lot of people, the technicians are animal lovers, and that's typically who they look to hire. If you really have a desire to work closely with them and care about them, it's just an easy job. It's not even a job anymore. It's your passion. So kind of a main idea, first one is the love and passion for working around dogs and kind of building that relationship between the human being the owner and the dog. And the best way to do that, to kind of open the dog to new opportunities and freedom, is through a leash or collar. In this situation, a collar for electric fences. But the dog will be able to be outdoors without, necessarily any danger from vehicles driving by, and they won't chase it down. They'll be limited in where they can walk, but also opened up to more what they weren't able to do later or earlier. So I want to use this kind of an example. This is not necessarily an electric fence collar, but it's my dogs who we had like 2 years ago when passed away, sadly. But the prongs would go right here, which go to the dog's throat. You would put 2 fingers to make sure it's not too loose, not too tight for the dog. Just enough to kind of get the buzz feeling from the surge, the voltage. And you'd start off at a low setting as like a puppy setting for everybody, or all the dogs, and then work your way up. But ultimately it's a day in and day out job, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you also have potential to make overtime if you decide that you want to work a Saturday. You kind of keep your own track of your schedule from morning to later on. Benefit is you basically make your own schedule. It's local based on where you live because you have a take-home vehicle. It's a $12 an hour pay, at least for when you first begin training for the first 5 to 6 weeks with one of their best technicians. Then later on you would get your own vehicle and kind of be out on your own and making $14 an hour. Also the ability to make commission extra on the sales that you make, either an upgrade service or new service, extra products that you recommend. So it's very simple. You can make it extra $200 on top of what you make with hourly. But if you don't necessarily primarily focused on just the 14 an hour and you really want to make that sales and that's what you're good at, I mean, you can make more, like a lot more $100 worth. But ultimately, they're looking for people who have a genuine love for animals, especially dogs, and their safety, and growing relationships between the owners and the dog and with you, and you just become part of the family. So to make sure I include my quotes real quick. So one was the invisible statement. Another is actually nationwide. Whether they have 2 legs or 4, every family member deserves quality health care. That just proves, they're part of the family. They're another family member that should be treated as so. And then also from Linda Cole, according to research, it says, dogs that have obedience training pay attention to their owners, which reduces stress on both sides and creates a loving relationship with your dog. The more time you spend with your dog, the better you know who he is as an individual or she, and the better he or she understands you. Be a constant and fair leader. And then finally, and that was by Linda Cole, the pet tech. So in the US alone, approximately 1.2 million dogs are killed on the road each year. In most of these cases, the dog was hit by, or is a relatively simple reason considering the facts. The dog cannot be seen by motorists and the driver only spots the dog once it's too late. So it just shows the importance of having an electric fence, because not necessarily having one like a wooden fence, if it's not built right, over time weather can damage it, dog can jump over it. It's not necessarily the best route to go, as well as electric collar is definitely safe for the dog. It's upgraded system to where it used to be dog got punished for going in, got punished for coming out. Now they actually have an upgrade where the dog gets punished for going out, but it lasts a lot longer, so most likely the dog will run back. And if it does last, it comes back in, there's no punishment. So it's kind of a reward if they do come back and they're not scared of the fence. So it's a very passionate-filled job, just to keep animals safe. Also, if you love working outdoors, you'll be outdoors every single day, day in and day out, traveling. So I don't know if I mentioned, they also do pay for gas. So you have a gas card, company vehicle, supplies and equipment are provided. If you damage it or if it gets damaged by your work you do, they replace it. Simple as that. Commission. So there's plenty of different ways to make extra if that's what you're looking for, if money is your reason. But ultimately for me, it's the purpose, just the love I have for them, and just really God's gift to earth and man's best friend. So if that's what you're looking for and think it's a good fit for you, then all means. All right. Thank you guys.